Did Tom Gores pay too much money for Monty Williams? Keep in mind, it doesn't hurt the cap at all. It's just how much an owner wants to pay a coach. But I don't mind Tom Gores paying this much money. Maybe to some, Monty Williams isn't worth it because he hasn't won a championship, but he did get to the NBA Finals. He turned the Phoenix Suns around. He took them from laughingstock to contenders. I've already said it earlier on the podcast. He helped develop guys like Devin Booker, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Payne became a serviceable backup. So I'm going to go ahead and say it wasn't too much. I mean, it's not my money, so who cares? And if you think the guy's worth $13 million a year, go ahead and give him his money. But what about you, Anthony?
I will say this. You cannot fault Tom Gores for trying to be competitive.
Yeah.
This even goes far beyond Monty Williams. His last coach, Dwayne Casey. Dwayne Casey wanted to take a year off. Tom Gores was aggressive. Gave him, I believe, 5 or 6 year deal. The coach previous, Stan Van Gundy, which I had no idea that Stan Van Gundy almost took a job in Golden State before Steve Kerr.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and, Gores said, why don't you be the coach and GM? I'm not going to say Gores paid too much money because it is his money. It's not mine, so why do I have to complain? But to the fans complaining, saying he's the highest paid coach in the NBA, and 4 of the 5 coaches that are in the top 5 in earnings have all won an NBA championship. Greg Popovich has won multiple NBA championships. Eric Spoelstra has won NBA championships. Steve Kerr has won multiple NBA championships. Rick Carlisle won 1 championship with Dallas. I think what Tom Gores did is he just changed the marketplace for coaching.
Yep.
There's a reason why Doc Rivers and Mike Budenholzer haven't taken new jobs and why the Suns had to kind of settle for Frank Vogel. Even though Frank Vogel is a very good defensive-minded coach, he only signed for $5 million. You got guys like Tyronn Lue that are coming up on a contract extension. Who's to say Tyronn Lue doesn't ask for $15 million?
I had tweeted that out. I had said, dude, there's probably a lot of coaches sitting on NBA benches wondering, dude, how do I get fired so I can just re-sign a new deal with another team? Because you're right, dude. Coaches are about to get paid, man. They are about to get paid. Huge market.
Because now you're going to have to pay these coaches. You can't just give them $5 million now. You see all these other NBA coaches, like I think Mike Malone. He had said something about Monty Williams, congratulating him and asking him for a loan. Just because he's going to be making $13 million on an average annual salary. So I'm happy for Monty. I think he deserves it. I don't think Tom Gores paid too much. I think Tom Gores is serious about winning. He's serious to give a guy basically a contract that is on par with Marvin Bagley's. If you think about it, he's making $13 million. Marvin's making like 13.1 or 13.2. Like if he was on the Pistons like cap sheet, he'd be like the 3rd highest player, or I should say coach. But like I said, even like people were complaining to Adam Silver about it. Like some like media members are saying like, well, should, coaches be a part of the, the new CBA of like how much you can offer a coach, which I don't think it should. I think it's up to the owner of what they want to pay. But yeah. I have no problems with it. I don't think he's overpaid. I think that's what Tom Gores is willing to pay him. And all these owners are going to have to buck up next time, their coaches are up for a contract extension or they're looking for a new coach.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that too. And it just popped into my mind. I was watching that video clip of, I believe it was, not Brian Windhorst. Who am I thinking of? It might've been him. He was like sitting at like, I don't know, an NBA Finals event or something like that. And he said, this was a move out of desperation, right? Like that. Where does that even come from? Why is it when the Detroit Pistons make a move like this, it can't just be celebrated? Like we can't just celebrate that Monty Williams got the bag. Instead, it's a move out of desperation. I've seen teams, go after a guy that wanted to take a year off and it just didn't work. Give me an example. When you say something like that, give an example. Tell me a coach, tell me a team where that actually has happened. That's what I want to know. You can't just say things like that and not give an example. I was really irritated with that and kind of annoyed, quite frankly, with just some of the I love that Stephen A. Smith actually praised the move. That was awesome. But Wendy is talking about, it being a move out of desperation. What do you want the Pistons to do? They went and got the big fish. They went and got the best head coach that was available. Why is it a move out of desperation instead of like a smart hire? Why did the language change that way? It really irritated me, but I just wanted to get that little rant out of the way because
it was Brian Windhorst. And I think the biggest reason why he kind of had that demeanor is ESPN did not break the story. Shams Charania and James Edwards were the one that broke the story. ESPN did not have an inside scoop on it. The Athletic did. And I think that it kind of came off that he was salty.
Yeah.
Because Brian Windhorst is supposed to be this insider that has all these sources, and none of the ESPN guys got this within I would say James and Shams had it for a while, and then you see the ESPN guys, tweet it out maybe a full day later. Like I said, I think it was more of them pissed off that they didn't get the story, because for them and the business that they're in is they're trying to get the news first. They pay Woj a shitload of money to get stories first, and there's times where Shams just beats him to a story.
Yep.
All the time, and I think that's where it kind of comes off. I don't think it's a desperation move by Tom Gores to get Monty Williams. He was the best available coach. He just offered him so much money where he couldn't turn it down. It's up to Tom Gores if he wants to, give a guy $5 million or $13 million.
Yep.
I don't consider it desperate. I actually consider it being aggressive, getting a guy that you want, and he's always been aggressive since he's owned the team, and you can't fault him for that.